Okay, so welcome to the Node.js Node API team meeting for March 31st, 2023. We'll follow our standard approach of looking at what we've tagged for milestone 11. But before we get started on that, does anybody have any news or something like that that they'd like to share?
I do. This week, we made this Node API.NET project public.
Okay.
It's a project Jason and me, we worked for the last few weeks.
Is there a link to the project? I'm just going to add it to our what's new in
2023. Let me kind of paste it in chat.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Here, I'll share
if
my
I recall
screen.
correctly, Jason has updated the link in the API stable node repository for the Node API.NET.
You're still looking for the link, or there it is. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I just pasted it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Like Chinjon said, maybe Jason already updated somewhere.
Okay. No, but that's good. I think it's good to get this kind of news into this issue because just landed a PR in the Node core, which is like, hey, this is going to be our standard approach for sharing news with like newsletters and periodicals. So hopefully we'll have a bunch of issues like this, but we're like the first example of like, we're posting our news here and I'm going to try and get like Node Weekly interested in following it to say, hey, there's some new news. Maybe they'll report it there, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, that's neat to be able to use .NET to create Node add-ons and
yeah, we're finishing up publishing NuGet and NPM packages. It needs to go through all this approval process and stuff, but hopefully it will be done this week. And after that, it will be ready for use. It's still kind of a work in progress. Like we may change some classes and stuff, but yeah, so it's already kind of raised a lot of interest inside of Microsoft, at least. And
yeah, no, it's cool.
Twitter about it, and like what's a lot of interest amongst some people.
I mean, it's nice that the Node API effort has helped unlock. Oh, I need to promote. I think. Sorry, Zamina. Okay, that was next thing. He's going to come soon. Yeah, it's nice that Node API has kind of unlocked support for other languages other than just C, as well as even being used in the other runtime. So this is just like another nice addition to that. Like, hey, here's another environment you can use to create those extensions.
And one of the core scenario, if you will, for using Node.NET with Node.js is on server side. Like there are some libraries like semantic kernel or something like this related to AI and stuff, which written in .NET. So like using this bridge, it's possible for people to use Node.js one side and pretty much speak with all the different new APIs. And we even have example, Jason created example in this repo, how to use semantic kernel. So just
cool.
Thanks.
That's great. Any other news or that people want to share? Okay, if not, I'm going to flip back then to the issues in the tags. So issues, milestones, milestone 11. Okay, so that one is tended. I don't know if it's ordered by editing, but that one stopped. So we just did that. In terms of getting contacts for the runtime supporting Node API, I know Chenzong, you've made some progress on that. Anything we should talk about this week on that front?
We don't have any updates this week, I think.
Okay. Documenting how to check for memory leaks. I don't think there's any updates. A few comments there. I know Kevin's been very busy lately, so maybe we'll just leave that there until we have Kevin at a meeting. Add a list of C language bindings to Node.js. I think Nicholas said he's in a meeting, maybe coming, so let's skip that one and we'll loop back to it when he joins. Driving towards full coverage. Jack let us know he wasn't going to make it today, but most often the discussion is about new PRs that he's opened in terms of tests. And I think actually, though, we've managed to get on top of all those, so they're all landed. That's great. So unless somebody else has something, I think there's nothing to discuss on that one. Enabling debug testing for add-ons. Haven't done anything there. So now we're basically on, now somewhere in there should be stale issues. Where is that? Oh, stale issues. So somehow, okay, I missed that. There we go. So let's take a look to see if there's any more that were tagged stale. Okay, I don't see any new ones. This one, I think Kevin is still working actively with the team there. It looked like it was probably an issue in the add-on, so I don't think anything discussed to that. These two were blocked on the feature bits runtime semantics. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Vladimir, your PR landed.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. I was so excited this week. Like you landed it. Like, yes, I can make progress on that one.
Yeah.
But sorry, I was busy with Node API .NET release. And I didn't make progress on this another PR. I should be unblocked and still start work next week. I'm taking time off from main job next week, so on vacation. So I should be able to make progress here.
Okay, no, that's great. And thanks for hanging on. I know things can take a really long time sometimes, but thanks for sticking it out. So this one, I think, right, this was a good next step would be add an example in the node examples. I don't know that we've done anything there. And this one, I think, again, I don't think we've done anything there either, right?
Which example is that needs to be added?
This one was related to thread safe
Oh,
release process renderer. So it's Chenzong did some work to document that the order of finalization. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's about the order of finalization when people are nesting the thread safe function in a object wrap, and when the thread safe function is released first by the shutdown, it may be finalized. It may be destructed twice when the object wrap is being finalized too. So that's a problem, and we can add an example on how to check those add-on object wraps and finalize them all at once with their own orders, so that no objects are released first unexpectedly. Yeah.
Right, and I think like this is the additional documentation. I'm just going to post the link in the chat. So I don't know, like, Gabriel, if you were interested in taking a cut at the example, because I saw you did one of the other ones. That's you know, an example that sort of shows how to do it in line with that ordering was what was the thought was.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Sounds good. Okay, so I think that's all the stale issues. So we can flip on to looking at issues in the repos themselves to see if there's anything. So pull requests, this one, I think we already landed the one that added the new thing. This is just the documentation and looks like got a couple of approvals already. So that's probably just ready to land. Good. And this one, it was a work in progress, right? But Chenzong looks like you've undone that and it's ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I managed to get a Windows machine to test this and finally get the test passed.
Okay, great. So just needs a few reviews and then we can get that landed too as well. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Issues.
Um,
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to bring up the release first.
Yep.
So it's the third item in the issue list. Yeah.
Yep.
So do we need to wait for the two open PRs to land before we making this release?
Let's take a look. So
The first one can be landed shortly,
yep.
and the second one needs more reviews, I believe.
Right. Is this so this one? Is this December? Like, does this break things potentially, or is it's I'm trying to remember. I don't think so, right? Like,
No, yeah. The new feature are guarded with the definition guard.
okay, so it should probably be December minor, right?
Yeah.
I guess maybe we don't, okay, not people, labels. Yeah, I think if we can get this reviewed quickly and landing, and what's your opinion? Like, do you think we should wait for this one before we issue the release?
It will be good to wait this one if there is no rush to release a new version.
I don't think there's a panic, so like we should be able to get that reviewed and landed pretty quickly. So we can add a comment. And I should make sure that, I just want to look at participants. Yeah, okay, still don't have. We discussed the team meeting today. And to get landed for. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, it will be great.
Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Okay. Okay, in terms of issues, so anything more you wanted to bring up on the release? Okay, if not, there's just a couple new, this big int. I think this is just like a missing thing in our documentation, so that's something anybody can PR in. Also, the person who raised it could submit a PR would be great. And this one's a question. So I think, I don't know that we need to discuss anything here, but it's something that if somebody has cycles to think about, we can do this. Anything else anybody thinks we should discuss in the Node API repo before I flip over to the Node core? Okay, I will flip over then, and I'm going to. So I don't see anything that new. Are there any issues on this side that we should discuss that people have top of mind or anything?
I have a question, just trying to catch up. So for
Yeah.
the finalizers, there's talk of having like pure and non-pure finalizers, meaning that the pure ones, they don't call into JavaScript. Is that going to be like based on a feature flag now that we have feature flags, meaning that if you turn on this flag, you cannot use non-pure finalizers, and if you do, if you don't turn it on, then all finalizers are definitely non-pure? Or are we going to have like an additional API where you can register pure finalizers, and then those will run synchronously? We don't need to defer because it doesn't matter that it's happening, that the finalization is happening during garbage collection, because they're not going to call into JavaScript. What is our stance there?
If I recall correctly, we had a discussion on this, and the current approach we are taking is that we introducing the runtime semantics and runtime version semantics, and when people are upgrading Node add-on to a newer Node API version, their add-on, the finalizers in their add-on would be like say pure finalizer, and yeah.
But I think there'll
And
still be the
there
option to
are
have
no
non-pure
new
ones.
APIs for.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
So I think what I talked over you though is you probably said there will be new APIs so that you can have non-pure finalizers, but by default, because of the runs, like what we've done through the runtime semantics is that if you stick with a particular Node API version, you won't get broken, and that will continue to work with future versions of Node. So if you stick on Node API 8, for example, things won't change. But if you move up to Node API 9, that's a point where we actually will change the default behavior of the finalizers.
Okay, I see. And the default behavior will going forward will be that they are pure.
Yeah, I believe that's
Okay.
our path forward, since we are I can recall several issues about the performance of the finalizer, since they are deferred to a certain point at which we can safely evaluate JavaScript. But if they are pure finalizers, they can be invoked more eagerly.
Yep.
Yeah. So the memory pressure will be much lower.
Okay, okay, that's a good plan. Okay, thanks for catching me up.
And there's something else to clarify. Like we had all these feature bits almost ready, but at some point we decided that we're not going to proceed with feature bits for now. Like instead, we decided that we're going with versions. So technically, because idea was Cheng Zhong said, like we had this concern that if we have too many feature bits, the matrix at some point will become too complex for us to test all the different scenarios and stuff. We'd rather simplify the whole approach and just go with versions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Draft PR for these versions, for these versions to land, but we because it became too big, it was split up in two stages. In one stage was just merged this week. It was about deprecating a module registration based on kind of struct. So now we have
I saw that.
With callback registration, because pretty much everyone else outside of C++ community uses this callback registration, and we decided to kind of zero down on this callback registration. And then
I think Gabriel was the one who added that.
Yeah, yeah, I was.
There's some history.
Yeah, I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that it's becoming the default, because it is quite the simplest way to register a module is to just have a magic function name in there.
Yeah. So we deprecated effectively with another approach.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, thanks for adding it. By the way, like we hot on this topic with callback. While we worked on this Node API.NET, we saw some scenario which we couldn't address easily. It's like when we inside of a native module, we want to be able to import another module. Like for example, we want to use streams module from node.js. And currently, our callback for Node API does not have this additional parameter called module. Because if you look, for example, for node.js callback, they have three parameters. They have context, they have module, and sorry, there's the third one.
Exports.
Exports, yes. But the fact that they pass in module, it's possible to call module.require and effectively load any other module. But currently in Node API, we're missing this feature. And while it's possible to do it at some point, but if people want to do it right inside of this callback to access another module to do some initializations and stuff, it's not possible today. And this will kind of another my question to you guys, if it's worth to add new version of this callback with additional parameter module.
So there'd be another magic. I think, did we already look for a couple different magic entry points? This would be like an additional one.
Yeah, by version, I think.
Okay.
So we'll keep them both, right? V1 will be without module and V2 will be with module.
That would be another one, like under our new model. If you upgrade to a new Node API version, like then it might be reasonable to have some additional parameters or something.
Yes. Yes.
So like it wouldn't break anybody who's using version 8 or something. And so I don't know. I don't remember the specifics, but like that might be an opportunity to say, okay, in the next Node API version, there's an additional parameter.
I do have one concern though. So in a new version of Node API, we will introduce features that people want, right? And so they'll want to switch to this new version because I don't know, we support some new language thing, or we support some new Node way of doing things, or whatever. But if the price for making use of this new feature is to also have to overhaul all your finalizers, for example, because now they're all pure by default, then that puts more of a maintenance burden on folks wanting to upgrade to their to Node API 9. So I think for finalizers we have a solution, but we need to keep in mind that we don't want the barrier to entry to the next version of Node API to be too high, because then people can choose to stay at Node API 8, yes, but if they want to upgrade now, they have to do work that is not directly related to what it is that they desire of the new version of Node API, or they may have to do work. So I think we should keep that in mind when we decide to do things like change defaults or change things that are unrelated to strictly new features.
Yeah, we don't want to make it too painful, but I think it's that balance between our maintenance and
their maintenance. Yes,
their maintenance, right? And so yeah, it's finding the happy balance. I mean, I think in this case, it shouldn't be a huge deal to say, okay, well, I'm going to actually just mark mine. I forget what the API we were talking about looks like, but it shouldn't be a lot of extra work in your application, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the other change that we didn't mention, but it's like key to this is Node will stick. So by default, your Node will stick with using a fixed Node API version by default now, versus we used to move it forward. So like people will just stay on whatever the current one is unless they actively choose to move up.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it. Okay.
So like you should be able to continue, your app should still work with 20, it should still work with 22, it should still work. But you'll have to opt in to say, okay, I'm going to move up to Node API 9 or 10.
So the opt-in is at the preprocessor level?
Yeah, it would be the define of the version, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Understood. Okay. Yeah. So I missed this part. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So idea would be like, we're going to have another magic function. Give me your required Node API version. So if you don't have this function, so we'll assume that you want version 8. But if you do have this function, in this function, you will say which version you opt in. And for C++, we'll have a marker, so it will be all hidden behind marker. But for other language implementations, people just can add this magic callback.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
At least with current line of thought, we still need to implement it and review it. So thank you. Please jump on these changes and yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Any other topics or issues we should discuss this week? I guess the one I'll put on next week, I won't be able to make it because Friday is a holiday for me. I don't know if other people are off on Friday or Monday. I always forget, but it's Easter weekend for some of us anyway. So is everybody else going to be around next Friday? I'm just wondering whether we should cancel, or I'll see if Kevin can host if I'm the only one who's not going to be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here.
Okay.
I can be here.
Okay. So I'll send an email, check with Kevin can host, and if not, maybe we'll find somebody else. So sounds good.
There is a open PR in the Node API headers repo.
Oh, okay. Let me go back there. I think this is the right window. Yep.
It's for the Windows dev files directory structure.
Okay. This one, right.
Pull request. I believe it's ready to go if there is no one have concerns on it. And we can make a release for the Windows dev files, and the person who created the VCPKG can make a release too.
That sounds good to me. Sounds like you're ready to go ahead and land it.
Yeah, I can land it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good. Any other issues we should chat about? Okay, if not, well, we'll see you in GitHub and everybody next week. Thanks for your time.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thank you.